Alright, hello everybody. Welcome to the stream. We are here with me, your favorite streamer, and Mr. Mutton, your second or third favorite streamer. Not as favorite as me though. Here to cast this game, IUPUI versus Team Clarity. Now, this is there's a bit of lore to this one, and we'll get into the server here as I explain. But basically what's happened is through a unforeseen and unexpected error, clerical error, we'll say, IUPUI had a scheduling conflict and rushed to find a sub. Now, the sub that they did manage to find. Well, first of all, you're probably asking, Strelok, weren't you the coach? Why wouldn't you be the sub? And that's a good question. The reason is frankly, I'm frankly above subbing for this team. As you know, I'm an open IGL. Currently, 4-4 and open. So, you know, subbing for this, subbing for this dying main team full of, you know, slackers and people who, you know, rather play, you know, MOBAs than the game that they're, you know, competing in. It's just not worth my while, you know. I don't need to, you know, climb the corporate ladder of ESEA politics, so to speak, in that way. But who they did find is this man who was just in here. His name is Huston. Now, I've been told that this guy is a professional Valorant player. However, seeing as we don't care what Valorant is in this stream, we only care about one thing, and that's the league stats. So, right now, he is actually an ex-advanced player. He played 4 seasons of advanced. Played a ton of seasons of main. Seems pretty good. How about career league stats? 82 ADR. Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I'd say so.
What was his last season? Season 33. Let's see when he played advanced. Okay, he was 70 ADR. Okay, 85 ADR in season 32. Oh, he went off. Not bad, not bad. Alright,
Not only do IUPUI have a sub, but they also have Tristan on his younger brother's sub.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot. Tristan, or Trist as he's labeled here, is on a alternate setup and is playing basically on his brother's computer.
Yeah, on a little bit of a tainted mouse pad, we'll say.
Yeah, the mouse pad has contaminants on it.
It had contaminants that acidically.
Yeah. Basically, to get the full detail of what's happened with that mouse pad, you need a forensic investigation into the and you basically need to carbon date that mouse pad and find every stage of its life cycle, because there's been lots of substances and biological products dispensed onto it.
Yeah.
Alright. Now that we got the introductions out of the way, I will do everyone's favorite thing. I will play the lo-fi stream beats, copyright-free music.
I mean, I don't know if that'll keep the viewers happy after you played Dane Tangerine last time.
Oh, is that what the viewers want?
I don't know.
They would want a dank tangerine?
It's definitely what Andy wants. He's been stealing Blake's flow all week. Low-key audio
All right.
to beat Sparks, okay.
We're about to hit him with the. We're about to hit him with it. Here we go. This is, ladies and gentlemen, this is Tragic Tangerine. Their debut.
Not the jail, but in my visions. Got more game than Activision. Activist, that's my decision. Fuck out of here with those files, missus. But I'm right on target, running the game like I'm a fucking drill sergeant. Don't gotta fuck with no penis enlargement. Dick tastes good like it's a largemint. Niggas wanna buy from me like I'm a target. Real nigga on the track, took your bitch to my apartment. They'll wanna say my bars are weak. My raps overflow like a clogged sink. More ice on my wrist than a hockey rink. Haters point fingers like two in the pink. So rich that your bitch gets turned on like a switch. She's running to me so hard she get the side stitch. In my garage, got two caddies, ready to take a drive down to Cincinnati. Rip to Harambe, my man gorilla, getting more tang than Ghostface Killer. Your death wasn't justified, you're in nirvana like incesticide. One day see you again, you're in heaven hanging with your friends. Your death could cause the apocalypse, like this is the end.
What's up, bitches? T-Fire here. Turn around, bend over, let me stick it in your rear. It's still Mr. Rad as fuck, getting rich like Scrooge McDuck. With your bitch, you get to suck. Sorry, nigga, you out of luck. That's right, boys. T-Fire in the building. Ice on my wrist, that shit is gilding. Lyrics in your head, that shit we instill, and you feelin'?
All right, what do we think of that? That was, I think we all enjoyed that. IUPUI players. They're waiting on. Oh, Big Daddy A, of course.
He's probably an aim_boss.
Yeah. Hold on, guys. I gotta warm up. Well, in the
He was
meantime,
watching Rivals with me the entire time, not warming up, slacking. Just trying to remember the flash lineup, or the nade lineup, one or the other.
I think, you know, main level player would have practiced it beforehand.
To be
but
fair, he wasn't expected to play a game today.
And he had like 4 hours.
He had Kaz's computer didn't have CS installed. It also takes 9 minutes to start up, and he had a Windows update. He did play a pug though.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're still waiting, so give us some time. Maybe we'll play. Oh, how about any Tender Tangerine?
Any?
I would like to introduce Tangerine. Have you ever had a tangerine? Tangerine, 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 tangerine.
Big Daddy 8 is in the server.
Tangerines are taking over.
Wow, what a great song. Really, we're ahead of their time. Both artistically.
Yeah, I mean they really never got the payout they deserved, I'd say. Which exclamation point was the one that you think got more people into the stream?
Well, I think it's by the fourth one, I think.
Yeah, you think that's where marginal revenue meets marginal cost?
Yes. That was the intersection. Because first three, you think, this guy is just playing, but it's like the fact that then you hit the fourth one, you're like, whoa, he really held that key down. There must be something here.
For sure. The definitive anime advantage to team clarity thus far. Oh! Big Daddy A with a no-scope headshot. We're gonna hope that we don't see very many of those during the game. Huston, clear Valorant player, sold all of his CSGO skins. That's the sign of Valorant, bro.
Oh, and IUPUI will get taken down. Knife round. You hate to see it. I should have practiced that one more.
Yeah, well, what I'll be definitely interested in is, I mean, it's easy enough to tell. Well, I mean, here's the thing, right? Jack plays, I think, Crane side, right, on vertical A side. So that's the side of Crane that you typically want, you know, some knowledge of utility, at least early rounds, and also that's the person that's extra salting usually, right? And kind of just jumping down. So that requires some coordination. Also, a lot of IUPUI's ramp setups require quite a bit of coordination. So I honestly don't know whether like which side will be less, I guess, detrimental of having this sub. It looks like they're gonna go for a fast V play here.
It's the IUPUI classic right here.
Yeah, they might be faking into an A take though. It looks like.
Ready,
They've done a great job of faking.
the first.
Big Daddy A
This
gets
has
the kill.
completely sold it.
Well, after the all-out brawl on the A site there, it's a 2 versus 2. One player very, very damaged on the CT side. Saucy getting tagged down to 90 HP. Chris and C-Max and Tristan probably going to want to play this post-plant situation together. And they actually are looking to fight before the bomb is even tapped. Now deciding to split up after both being spotted Crane. Alec pushing the advantage here on 3 HP. Somehow finds Tristan. And now it's a 1 versus 2 for CMX. A very winnable one at that. Both players
Oh my god.
are actually... Alec has a kid here, and it doesn't even matter. Saucy finds the kill. And IUPUI, you've got to wonder... I guess Tristan was on that kind of weird situation where you're right next to the angle, and you have left eye peek disadvantage, and you just get spotted way before you can see the opponent. But his opponent had 3 HP, and Tristan's lack of armor there, because he bought up U2, I think is what ultimately cost him that.
Well, IUPUI unexpectedly did not win the pistol. They did have it's a good setup, but we'll buy back into this. Basically no utility, just 2 smokes. Those AKs across the board. And looks like they're gonna be just slow defaulting out. Not holding.
Do you see this off angle in middle from Alec? He was up on that like mid like metal like kind of railing thing.
In the yellow thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got off of it, but
Yeah. Kinda sucks, not gonna lie, but oh, Big Daddy will go down, trying to find a frag. Oh, and Zukar picks up a second. Still locked out of this ramp at a minute in. They're slowly making their way.
lining here is that Lakers has a mid lurk, and he's actually found Alec. Perfect crosshair placement from him, and that might cause some problems on the A-bomb site. Zukar, feeling the pressure from the elevator flank, moves on to scaffolding where his teammate also sits. The side is taken. A great find from CMX. Now, does he expect the second player? Zukar doesn't expect the swing because of the noise made by Blakers. And kind of a weird timing there ends up going incredibly well for IUPUI, and it looks like it's going to be a save from Clarity.
Really fortunate. IUPUI, the Blakers kind of turned around there. And then CMX, you know, God tier Mogger. think his muscles are big. Brain's even bigger. Always expected the second guy to be there.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're Zukar there, I mean, you would never ever turn away from the guy who just killed your teammate in any normal circumstance. But because he was already afraid of that elevator flank, and he had heard the elevator player run up like lane there, he was gonna turn around. He was trying to fight that one first. Lakers decides to just turn around. I don't know if Lakers. I'm assuming he had just thought that he had cleared what he needed to, right? But he didn't, and what could have been tragic for CMX, going down off of a bad info call, ends up being fine because Zukar wasn't looking at him.
Now, the question is, it's going to be a force up here, unsurprisingly, but IUPUI, we're going to see how this ramp fights go on later in the game, because just in that first round, I mean, they were getting locked out of ramp to like a minute in, and resmokes were coming in, and that was with like not a perfect utility from Team Clarity they could buy, so I'm suspicion that this is going to have to be a bit of a brawl here if IUPUI really wants to get in this ramp early on. Clarity isn't just going to let him through. Here on the sandbags position has a smoke if you molly it. Also is gonna down to stairs. It's gonna down. Still nothing up and nothing.
Yeah, this is just one of those defaults where you try to get all the map control on Vertigo you can. It's kind of like Train in a sense that a lot of the map control you can get is only valuable in the sense that it sets you up for an execute onto the site, not really that it is the site, or is a pathway to the site really. And right now it looks like IUPUI is going to set up for a B execute. The only person directly here to receive this is Saucy. He's on default, and Big Daddy is storming in. Peeks before the flashbang, and Saucy kills Big Daddy, who wasn't even looking at him. Gets a kill on a lurk, and Error in middle finds a kill. So now it's just Tristan and CMX left to pick up the pieces dropped by their teammates. CMX going to use that Molotov in the smoke that's still down to plant the bomb. Blue smoke being thrown, and this becomes a very difficult post play for IUPUI. They don't have a whole lot of map control. They don't have the players that would make up for that. CMX going to line himself up in a place where he can flash support for Tristan. And here it comes. Here's the flash. Tristan in the smoke. This gets tagged. The flash comes in. Meanwhile, he will be found. Now CMX in a near unwinnable 1v4. He finds the first, but with the smoke going down on the bomb, his time is up. And 3 players survive on a fourth life for Team Clarity and win the round.
I think I don't know, I wasn't paying quite close enough attention, but sure, IUPUI, there's no default molly when they're going up to B. I'm surprised. It's something that they throw with their smoke walls. Use left side or right side gen throws that molly. Not sure if it missed or they just didn't have one.
Right.
Because that's a very uncommon way to just get killed from a guy just swinging default and there's not even molly there. Like,
well, I mean, another thing I've noticed thus far, we're getting into a B rush, I'll mention afterwards. Saucy is going to be the first person to receive this. He does have immediate support, though. The flash is once again later than the peak at least. And while IUPUI does have some special on the bomb sites, playing the bomb is one thing, winning the round is another, and you're going to have to be satisfied with the former, because this is going to be a round win for Team Clarity. And what I was going to mention is that in both the gun rounds that have happened, Big Daddy A has been, the hard entry for IUPUI, in that he was running up ahead of everybody. The next player really isn't tradable, isn't in a tradable position behind him. And it has cost IUPUI both times. Big Daddy A has gone down without any kind of direct trade as a reaction to his death. So that's something that I hope, maybe it's, is Jack someone that you feel like is constantly on entries with Big Daddy A? As the first guy in?
Pretty much, yeah. He's like hard entry.
Yeah, so that's just might be something that is, being reflected in the fact that they are using a sub that's not used to typical routing, and they're not used to themselves.
Alright, this is going to be a scap swing here. Flash the line up, but it's not going to matter because Sasha and Zukar just absolutely destroy them. Oh, and insult to injury.
Yeah, bomb down as well. Oh! That was kind of nasty. I mean, it's a risk making any aggressive play. You're always risking the fact that the CTs might just either not be blind by your flashes or ready for the play, and, you don't have that element of surprise that you're hoping for.
The idea with this play, IUPUI is doing here, is essentially they're having a they run up, they throw their Furious, and they have the 3 players route up to Scaff, and they swing out Scaff and try to take the fight anybody ramp, and then supportive flashes are thrown from T-spawn such that they land above the Scaff players. But the problem with that is they went in there, knives out, weren't ready really for that player swing out from behind the smoke and Mog, plus the flash too. You need to play anti for that, and yeah, clean up 30.
Easy cleanup, just 2 off angles.
Yeah.
Pretty simple shots. And IUPUI, I mean, this is going to be a save, so it's going to likely be 5-1 here. And if IUPUI can't pick up the following gun round, you're into those kind of. There's a lot of maps in Counter-Strike where if you don't, if you keep hitting brick walls into any kind of T-side map control play you're having, it can be very easy to tilt. Clarity actually throwing that Molotov, is that still not fixed? That is still not fixed, huh? That multi-layer Molotov?
The bug one, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy, actually. I didn't see it all that much at the major, though. And that's probably the only term Valve watches smile. Quick mid contact coming in here. Smoke to go mid to B, thrown in. Molly to follow. CT's error is. Husson gets 2 entries with the Tech 9. Saucy now left alone on this B bomb side. This is a good spot to be as you can catch the players dropping off in midair. He's gotten 2, almost finds a 3rd. Lucky from CMX not to die, but he dies anyway on a following trade from Elik. And Husson, he's already got 2 kills in the round. He's going to be asked to do more. Big Daddy A in the scrum middle actually finds himself an M4A1S. Both players, though, unarmored. And Husson in a tough spot on site. There's no util to support either player, and there are flashes now being thrown in. Huston turns away because of the balanced nature of that flashbang. He is able to find a headshot on the first, cannot transfer to the second. Now Big Daddy A in a huge position for his team. Tags Elik down to 74% HP. He tags himself and no armor. The no armor difference is what causes IUPUI to lose that round. Big Daddy A gets shot in the body first and cannot, I guess, readjust is the right word.
That was such a good round. IUPUI, they threw this smoke. This is the smoke I found myself that we integrated, where that player, how he went on that side, that's an intended consequence of that, is you smoke it bias to the left, and you leave that little gap to encourage a CT to come and lurk through, and it actually just like worked absolutely perfectly how it's intended to in that situation, because the CT came right through and was absolutely easy kill to find.
Lakers on the off here, posted up on Crane. He's not going to get the feed. The player smartly goes, yeah, he went down sandbags. Those nades are going to do big damage. Huston, maybe not too accustomed to the current Vertigo meta, just spamming through this smoke with the CT. Tags himself, gets tagged down to 51 HP. And once again, I mean, go ahead.
So far they've been, they're getting into these post plants. It's just themselves, they just can't convert them. They've had, bomb plants, rounds, and there tend to also be players, but looks like they will get ramp for basically free.
Yeah, a very interesting interaction there where he smokes the molly that lands on him. Flash comes in from his teammate. All the T's are blind, so CTs don't see anybody. They cross, and really the only thing that's happened is utilities exchange and map control has been given to IUPUI. So I mean, a good win for them. They resmoke sandbags just to check, and that will be proven to be clear. Now, here's the issue for IUPUI. They've got all 5 players on ramp. The good thing is this is a whole lot of information gained by the CTs in their current map control. But as the timer runs down, CTs will be getting more aggressive, and we actually see Error full swinging horseshoe in middle. So he's going to clear all of that, which means essentially the time is up for IUPUI to have an unexpected AXQ. There's 3 players here waiting. Sasha is boosted up on the off angle. Could get him a kill. The smokes wear off. IUPUI actually waits too long to get onto the side. Blakers will trade that kill, but go down immediately afterwards. Tristan Clark's in a kind of a weird spot. He's off guard and sprays him through the smoke. So once again, a 2 versus 2 post plant.
We have a flank. Oh, and he's found out. Oh, this is amazing from IUPUI. This is perfect.
Yeah, they
readjust.
Readjusted their post plans.
He has a smoke. He can. There is a chance he can isolate here.
Oh,
there was a chance there.
Fantastic round from Tristan.
Yeah.
He is the bomb planter. They're putting himself in massive peril. He's quite fortunate, I will say, not to get sprayed or to get killed by the jump up player in that process, but he makes good on that look by spraying a player through the smoke, killing the CT on a fantastic crosshair placement one tap, and is able to pick up the last kill around there. And he was on 1 kill before that, so that's a huge round for his confidence.
Sorry for all that, man. Just adjusting audio setting. All right. Clarity's still in a buy. Still is good. They're still going to have the util necessary for this ball. A lot of spamming through the smoke, but really just damage.
Clarity, they're back
Wow.
to their two ramp setup here. They had a 3 ramp setup in rounds prior, and they actually make good of the 2 players that be there, are able to catch out first and B control. CMX, he's gonna want that spray back. He's traded by Hudson, but IUPUI, they needed to find a kill untraded there to make the player count back to 4 versus 4. Instead, they'll have to live with a 3 versus 4. Clarity look like they're content to give ramp here and play towards middle and B. They got their, they got their 1-for-1 trade on ramp, kept the T's off of it in the early round, and they backed up to this bomb site. Looks like IUPUI is still trying to decide what they want to do with this round. And the bomb is walking back towards B. Meanwhile, Big Daddy A making a bit of noise towards B.
So far, this play has worked really well. You've kept 2 players on the B bomb site. 3rd player's coming in.
Lakers going to throw the other wall here. This time they should be able to make it to site before this one's still play, but Sasha sprays Blakers through the smoke. And that's not what IUPUI needed. A 2 versus 4. Once again,
Blank.
2 players in the post plan for IUPUI, but this time 4 for Team Clarity. Huston already on 5 kills. He's gonna have to do it all for IUPUI. 1 versus 4. He's getting every possible angle, and he looks to his right and sees 3 people. No chance. Team Clarity will go up 6-2, and the economy for IUPUI is not horrible, but it's certainly not great.
Right now, IUPUI is just losing a little too much just in the early rounds. It's hard to say what would be your what would be your response to what's going wrong here. A lot of different ways you could go about it. You could just go something fast, but I feel like that's probably too obvious and not quite the correct. You might want to put more pressure towards other parts of the map to start, because there's not too much going on in mid at the moment. There's 1 lurk early on, but about it. But looks like it will be a mid walk up here.
Yeah, this is a bit of a it's one of those plays where you just are basically taking 4 guns to one area, and you're just trusting that you're expecting 1 person there. So if you bring 4 guns, at most they're hopefully going to get 1, and you live with the consequences of not using utility. And so far, it's actually not that bad for them, because there is no information at ramp at all. It's not like there's going to be 1 player at A because they have ramp clear and 4 players towards mid and B. It is just a kind of a typical setup here where there's 1 player mid. They're actually running the strat that they ran on the eco round that went so well. With that
This might be a split into A. I think maybe smoke.
Oh, you think they're gonna go A here?
Might.
They have mollied elevator. But they're up connector, and a great flash actually saves Blaker's life here. There's 2 players between this for Clarity, and they both quickly are dispersed. Alec finding 1 for the road. A 3 versus 4. I would not be surprised to see the counter terror save here. Looks like they are flirting with it. If IUPUI gives them a pick, they might go for it, but Tristan, he's in prime position to catch the player out, unless his teammate mollies, and he goes down because of it. I don't really know what to say about that.
It's a moment.
Pieces will back off and save their AK-47s. Yeah, those fast mid B plays are working quite well. I mean, the 1 round they lost doing it, it was a full eco and they almost won.
Yeah, it was a great entry. The flash really was the MVP, because it completely blinded those people on site, and they trees. Now Clarity are going on a precarious position. Are has to be on a deagle. Somewhat light utility, but not terrible. This looks like it's going to be a a push play here from mid. This is a
I mean, that's exactly what you want if you're IUPUI. If you
Yeah.
have an off-posted mid, you want your opponent to shift lock into the crosshair. Like, that's literally exactly what you want. You can't ask for anything more than that. And, I mean, what disadvantage was already apparent for Clarity on the money side is even more exacerbated by the fact that they've lost a player. Are they going to go for a boost here? I mean, you really want... Yeah, okay, so this... They are going to boost. Big idea. You hear that? He did,
that's
and he's refiring it.
oh, what a entry from Houston.
That's a great shot.
This is
Gets
another
traded, but Big Daddy A trades him back. So, it's, I mean, pretty much a one round for IUPUI at this point.
it's a save. 6-4 IUPUI is gonna be a good spot. Already are gonna have to save. Well, or they force buy again with these two guns. Go either way. You could just start. You could start your eco and you already have one take on loss bonus. So you could start your eco and have the guns try to stack them somewhere on either site for extra. And
What do you think of error? Well, the M4NS error hires in his hand at Sasha's. Got
Tasha's.
that hollow Gambit autograph on the print stream.
Trippy. Not a fan of the name though. Max just spotted the head, but I don't think he realized it. Alright, 6-4. We got ourselves a little bit of a game now. Like it will be the players. Oh, okay. Arrow's gonna go. So you're just gonna stack either gun, sight. Yep. IUPUI are gonna try to take the ramp now, knowing that the con is low. Sauce is gonna need to get a big couple kills here. Savage, this is the prime position. He's gonna let the pistol bait.
There's no flash. Oh my god, Huston just hit oh, Big Daddy hit that shot. Okay, it all makes sense now. I thought Huston hit the flick of the year. You should have seen it from his POV, dude.
Oh, Tris.
Did you see that from Tristan's POV?
Oh, from Era's POV.
I also saw it from Arrow's POV. Because that was actually a really nice shot. But it's only going to be good enough to try to save his gun. Once again, IUPUI going to win a T-side round. They've really gotten themselves a rhythm here. The two rifles that were on Clarity's side, one of them was on B, so he was out of the round in that manner. The other was sandbags, and IUPUI was able to handle the pistol swings from Crane without losing their focus on the rifle that was sandbags. So, all things considered, not a bad round for really either team, I suppose, but IUPUI is going to be the one that gets the round win.
CMX dies to the bomb.
I mean, that could be impactful. I mean, you don't want to lose, you know, $3,700 plus of utility and guns and armor for no reason. But if IUPUI even wins one more T-side round, they'll probably be good.
Yeah, I mean, you got two players basically on 6K. Max himself has 3. Even if they
B-rush.
Yeah.
Saucy, he is able to molly, but I think two players are already past. Big Daddy A just mogs onto the bomb site. Flash is coming in to support, and this is a retake that I think a lot of teams generally go for on Vertigo because there's just not a whole lot of good positions to play on your team side, as communicated by the fact that IUPUI are running around almost in the same spot. But it's got a retake in favor of them, and that's for sure. Huston taking a forward position is actually, they're gonna save. Okay.
No.
I don't blame them. But I also would not have blamed them for going for it. Yeah, I mean, that's the danger of, you know, having that solo B-side player, is if they try to make some kind of forward play and their molly isn't conservative enough and the T's run through it, or they get stuck on a wall in their flash, you just immediately lose so much map control, and you just can rarely get it back. Wow, Alec actually just hit his head under that sandbag and lived. Crazy. But I mean, now the score is tied, and this is not where you want to be if you were Team Clarity up 6-2,
Yeah.
right?
Lose another one here, and you're basically just giving IUPUI the 9-6.
Yeah, at least an 8-7.
Yeah, heavy stack for his ramp though. 3 players here. Oh, it gets him to the smoke.
Wow.
Still trying to hang on to this.
Us.
Are a bit shaken though. They'll push IUPUI back. Saucy has switched up his position, but that nade will kind of give it away. I think you can. Yeah, and he's gonna have to fall off. Does get the opening on Sasha. And
yeah, this
nade's
is a very
coming
solid
out.
peak from lower ramp to top scaffolding.
So we'll get one traded. Alec makes his way back. But an advantage for IUPUI, and they're gonna smartly make the decision to run back.
This is obnoxiously loud, though. The entire Clarity team is going to hear this. In fact, all 3 players are shift walking to this B bomb site right now.
Yeah.
So, IUPUI does have a smoke. It's on Tristan. They haven't actually.
Air's gonna go for a huge play.
They're just going to run in.
Air needs
This
to
is
go
just a
huge.
deathmatch.
Oh! Shot to the smoke. Alec picks it up, gets traded. Saucy.
Yeah. Started with a 1v3. It's definitely winnable, but with Gumboot posted from default with an op, it's not going to be easy. I think he's trying to find his retake smoke lineup. I mean, yeah, there's so many timings that you can miss. He missed. Okay, so it's actually a suicide smoke. Would you really rather smoke suicide than that gap? I feel like that's just a misplay. There's so many different angles that you can peek you on from gap. Suicide, you just put your crosshair in one place, they have to peek you there. Whatever. Anyway, IUPUI wins the round, and Clarity buys up. Once again, they actually are able to buy an off onto Saucy. So we'll see what he does with that. Going to peek B early. No one to be found. Instead, IUPUI is going fast ramp. A little bit more aggression this time, and it will cost Huston his life. Map control side has been gained, but Alec is there. This is an awkward duel. Big Daddy A leaves. Big Daddy A scarred up a bit, but still good on health. Alec now trying to reaggress. Oh my goodness, they're not looking towards side. They're trying to boost, and CMX is right around the corner. If he was just a bit braver, oh, they're actually watching for the boost. Big Daddy finds one, and CMX, because there's really no, it's a smart no swing from CMX, because his team is nowhere to be found. And even if he makes that kill, the A-bomb site's still not going to be taken. So he rates his life way above that, the opportunity of a kill. Tristan, on the other hand, will go down the middle, which almost certainly destines this play towards the A-bomb site. But with that smoke mid, it's faking, it's suggesting, right, okay, we're going B. We've done the smoke a bunch. We've always gone B on it. And now here come the smoke wells into A, and it's a complete retake situation. Are there mollies? There is one molly. It's on Zukar. He decides not to deploy the molly to try to prevent plan. That's a bit puzzling for me. But nonetheless, it's a 4 versus 3 man advantage for Team Clarity on the post plant. And this is always something you go for. Grenades being exchanged, likely to be thrown for retake. Nothing spotted out sandbags, but it's easier said than done to clear that. That's where you'd want to deploy that Molotov if you still had it, but it looks like it's already been deployed. To side. All 3 players up and fighting. Error is on the bomb. Will he be able to stick this? It's a 10-second stick. He's still on it, and Big Daddy A, the last remaining player for IUPUI, gets one. Spray Charge in the smoke. It's 2. It's Spray Charge Spring, but 6 HP is the difference. Error sticks the bomb and wins with 6 HP. A great attempt from Big Daddy A, and a crippling loss of money. But the round win does go to Team Clarity, and a Negev has been bought.
Wow, what an unbelievable round. That 10-second stick, and Zukar celebrates by buying the Negev. Unreal. But in the meantime, it's going to be a fast B. Error here, though, to help out with his friend Saucy. Going to pick up the first one. Smoked off. This might just have to be a cancel now, but Tristan goes wide. Oh, and takes his head clean off. And now IUPUI don't have to commit now right away. Rotate would have had to come here.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? I mean, you've got Zukar spotting ramp solo. Everyone else is towards B in middle.
I'm just gonna slowly walking. They're just gonna go. I'd have to go back to B. It's too much. You
Yeah.
had to go to player and way up to the other parts of the map, so you're kind of forced in this spot.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Pausing is only so good insofar as your opponents don't have the information to question the pause. Right now, Zukar is just getting all the information ramp that they need, so they don't have to rotate, despite the fact that IUPUI paused. What? He randoms him through the smoke. It's a complete random Huston, 2 off kills on the round. That completely turns the tide. Flash goes through, and Tristan decides not to go through the smoke on it. Nega being sprayed goes down, cannot spray transfer onto the second. Now Sasha with an insane spray transfer of his own. And that's going to be the half win for Team Clarity. But in the context of what the score used to be, I think they would rather have more.
Yeah, they were really strong. Had a couple rounds, I think, just sum up to misplays, where they made a couple questionable decisions that just they definitely could have ended this one 9-6. But they have a little bit of buffer, at least with even, so it's not completely terrible. Now here's the question: how is Houston gonna play, and how is this impact going to be CT side? Because this is the tough part: is slotting this player in, having to try to get him in a spot where you can operate without having all the context and all the time played.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like he's been pretty comfortable thus far in Vertigo. He's been throwing some util that clearly shows that he's played the map. So you just hope, right, that he's either played a similar position in the past or is comfortable. Your setups will obviously suffer. You won't have that like nonverbal communication, that nonverbal kind of like protocol setup like you would with Snowcone Yeti, but what you do have is a player with a ton of CSGO experience. So I expect this side really to go about as well as the setups can hold up with, because Huston's aim clearly isn't the problem. He's hit some nice shots thus far. He's clearly not rusted in that regard. What he could be rusty on is just what positions are good. Because if you're not playing CSGO all the time, you're going to fall behind the meta, and Vertigo is one of the newer maps that the meta is always really changing. This is a B rush coming in from Team Clarity, a very similar B rush to what IUPUI runs, except it is smokeless, which leaves Gumboot unprotected on Generator, whereas he usually would be protected from the left. He hasn't been punished yet, but he does have 1 bullet, and the time is ticking. There's 1 flashbang on Tristan, and IUPUI's entire retake really depends upon the success of the swings after this. They swing, Zukar is able to get the first and the second, isn't able to get a third. CMX hits some very nice shot on default, and a follow-up shot onto elbow. 2 versus 2 is developed. Huston and CMX. Huston finds 1 on stairs, and now it's completely a moggening on the B-bomb. I don't know how IUPUI has done that. A full house of frags from Huston and CMX, and that flashbang gave IUPUI just enough space to hit some nice, clean USP 1 taps.
That retake is so chaotic. I feel like it's almost a coin toss. If you just ran that exact situation again, I think have Clarity probably could come out on top as well. Everybody's shooting everywhere.
Yeah, well, what's so crazy to me, right, is the player you expect to get 0 kills, and Zukar gets 2, and his team around him can only follow up with 1 more, which is just so crazy.
Like it will be a ramp play here. Here, Big Daddy A catches Sasha through the smoke, crossing over Henny. Tag him down. It has come in. Houston is ready for the off-angle swing. Meanwhile, Saucy has managed to pick up a kill onto Gumboot, venturing a little far into the B camp. Even bottom of still, all things considered, on Clarity, enough util certainly to some sort of execute. And IUPUI have a smoke flash nade. Happens up B, which looks like it's doing that. Isn't.
It's really important for Tristan to secure Chris's mid here so he can focus on B, and it looks like he has.
2 players are low. Snag these in a nice tight group. Could go for a double here.
Just coming in. This is coming naturally into anti-flash, and he will
Gets
make
the double.
one on
Gets the
anti-flash,
third.
but triple.
And a fourth. Okay.
That's crazy.
Kind of a CMX round.
Yeah, I don't know what you think of like the position of playing behind suicide, but it feels like it's really feast or famine. It's either like you get a multi-kill or you die, like not even looking at your opponent.
I think when you're CMX, any position is a good position.
Apparently.
Big Daddy A has a Zeus. A Zeus is in play. Yeah. Oh, dude, are we gonna? Dude, they better not. Dude, why?
This was actually this was clearly like some kind of like mid counter. They must have seen something in the demo because both anti-eco rounds now they've run a mid stack.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I was like that to go better.
I was worried that they were gonna do like this pyramid stack and a ladder that I saw before.
Oh right, yeah.
And we're gonna have to wait here and I have to play on the lo-fi hip hop while we wait. What? Be the case. Yeah, he's having a good game right now. 15-12, coming back to yes. And it looks like maybe a ramp. Aggression. Houston gets double naded. Still using the A4. Apparently no one on IUPUI actually gave him the memo on that. Well, Big Daddy A. Can he get the second?
Wait, that's not his M4, that's Chris's. That's TMX's M4A4.
Oh wait, it is. Oh, well, we'll talk about that later.
I rarely see ramp aggression go that well.
Yeah.
And IUPUI just completely took that lower ramp area and lost no players. That is that's a backbreaker for Team Clarity. That's like, you know, typically these oh my god, that smoke just fell 51 floors, but typically, you know, you wait out that original smoke ramp, you maybe wait out a second, you try to find picks through gaps in the smoke, and then you go up. You're not expecting to lose a round because they pushed you through the smoke, because typically you try to play that guy on left side of anti-flash. Now people are doing that less now because of how commonly it's naded and mollied, but that's really a side note. Gunner here is going to spot out Error and his teammate walking up ramp. Great crosshair placement from Error, but that's not good enough to dodge now. In a 1 versus 4, finds the first two. Well, actually, he only finds one. Big Daddy A is the one.
Not going to be ready for this flank, though. Response. Wait, getting a little too close considering it's 5v2. But, still
yeah, I think you can chalk that up to a little bit of a peak fluke error for Big Daddy A and CMX lining up. But yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, they don't want to go down to 2 players when they had a 5 versus 2.
Funny right now. I mean, if already God forbid converted this one, and it looks like it's gonna be a B play. Like, gets a good nade off, I think. Yep, gonna knock 2 players down. Still trying to make his way back. Finally gets back to the safe generator position. You have 5 players, all with pistols roaming in. Molly is good. Oh, double nade as well. Denies the bomb plant. A fantastic utility and another Molly. I've never seen IUPUI be so good at utility. And all the players have gone down. Sasha just with a Tech 9, and I can't see him ever winning this. What?
Confident enough to just swing the USP there.
What an amazing set of Molly goes on default, double nade onto default perfectly, and then a second Molly you deny them from even getting the bomb that's stuck on default now.
Yeah, no, that was a perfectly executed anti-B rush because Blakers makes a very smart play to get back generator in time, throws the nade on for good measure, and I mean, Team Clarity is really left with no option there but to just try to win fights with pistols and rifles, and they can't do it. Huston on a auto shotgun here.
Yeah, he's feeling it.
Actually, an upgrade from the M4A4 in its current state.
The Clarity will be
true. Smile.
walking up stairs.
Yeah, they definitely feel, I think, outclassed on ramp right now. They want to try to attack this B-bomb site. Gumboot, he's blind.
Oh no.
He was caught on, I think, some kind of crazy.
No way. No. Oh, that's such a disaster. Air just kills both flankers. They both wide swing him. They're not ready. He'd be able to spray transfer. Yeah, that is the disaster of a round.
Yeah, that is an ugly round.
Now I want to be looking at an IUPUI. I mean, Gumboot now is back on the 1900. Have to eco. But, oh, well, alright, they're gonna buy rather. Eddie A's on. CMX had the A1S, he could have bought a little more extra flash.
Ramp fight.
Zukar is about to die. What? Oh, Huston gets 2. Second one from the swing. That's unreal.
Yeah. And now IUPUI is just gonna set up into the kind of this play from default, give ramp, go this one way. Andy can re-molly the one way. Re-smoke the one way. And Tristan, I believe, has a good flank on the B bomb side. So Blakers has this push all the way down into mid-con. They know that they are not B. Clarity cannot go B without crossing Blakers. I mean, they could, but they won't. And with all 3 players on this T side in ramp, it's really just a waiting game, right? Like, when do we want to execute? They have both smokes, kind of the needed smokes to get on that bomb site and plant. But they just don't have that kind of guessing game because IUPUI's pushed up. They know what's coming, and it's just a matter of beating it when it happens. The key here is to not give up your life and play for the because if you let those smokes disintegrate, it's almost it's a very easily they have to abandon default. But the flanker is dead in Gumboot.
Early, time will find out. No utility except for one smoke, which will be a bomb. Isolate Saucy, that's a good start. Have to tap that bomb. Bomb gets tapped.
Big Daddy A had the kit, and he just ran and died side. I think Tristan realizes this. He scooped the kit. He knows that sandbags and Crane, but he cannot kill either. Caught in a weird timing there of realizing where the first player was and not being able to flick onto the second. So Team Clarity, they lost the first 5 rounds of this half and have bounced back with 2 gun rounds. And IUPUI, they had to have been, you definitely favor, I think, a 4 versus 3 retake in that situation for the CTs, especially seeing as IUPUI had a flank. But the flank dies too early into the retake, and everything else just doesn't go IUPUI's way in that retake. And they are feeling the effects on their economy. Tristan, I think, has accidentally bought himself body armor, but the rest of the team as well are low on money. And Team Clarity should be able to punch an 11th here. Why do you think Tristan named his P250 Secret Love?
I don't know. What's the stickers on it?
I think it's Vega Squadron.
What?
But maybe he's just gotten that P250 and it was already named.
That's a.
Maybe he's like a big.
What do you call the Vega Squadron fan? Beggars.
I was about to say maybe he just really likes sharks. Maybe too much.
Well, then if he liked them, surely he would be a Shark Esports fan. I don't think he has any of.
It's true. But what we will about to be finding out is how good this flank is. And he finds one and dies.
Well, that's better than what I thought was gonna happen.
Well, I mean, it's
The idea is
it has a deal.
okay.
He actually crab walked for the entire peak.
Yeah.
Which was honestly probably optimal. The fact that CMX gets a kill there is
ridiculous. Well,
and comical.
I mean, 2 kills, 2. But
it's
not gonna really matter though, because you get money. Okay. Gonna have to be the another eco. A fast mid play, but it's scared off. And right now, nobody on the A bomb site. Everybody's towards in mid. It's like a double stack here on Danger. CMX on top, and then the Sin's good bottom there.
Yeah, I mean, what's kind of funny about this is it's very similar to Team Clarity. I mean, they only have one guy even looking at ramp. So.
Oh, nice kill from Big Daddy A.
Yeah, I mean, he has body armor. He basically is full kitted right now, Big Daddy A, with that kill. So.
Yeah. Oh,
This
Tristan's
is,
a.
oh, you see this?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
He saw bomb. That
This
was
is
bomb
huge.
as well.
Yeah, he can give all the info now, and you can have a full
Why is Huston still B? I guess he's gonna flank.
double flank. This might be the downfall actually. Let's see, good smoke. It's gonna.
Smoke comes in.
I mean, it's gonna stop them a little. Can't in good conscience just swing that.
So is anyone on the T side? They're lining up smokes, which means they'll see the flank. And here comes Tristan right now with Huston on this flank. When they hear these smokes bounce, they'll likely peek. Oh, they got some player with the
That's
smoke.
insane. Oh, Tristan almost gets another
all
one.
3 areas of ramp.
Tristan has head in the smoke. Oh, I thought he got away with that, but it's still good damage. And one player's
26 seconds left. They have to move.
Yep.
Chris finds one. Can't get the second. One player be able to trade. He can't. Now left on 5.
Oh.
No!
No! It's a mass disaster.
I mean, there should have been ways, you know, as soon as Chris gets that first kill, for both players to swing and take that fight. But Big Daddy A, I think he was pushed up scaffolding a bit too far to make that trade happen, and Blakers jumps up and cannot hit the deagle shots. It's just a round that IUPUI definitely wants back. With so much time running off the clock, they had all the information. They had flanks to cause panic. They had a 1 versus 3, and they couldn't close out the round, which is almost certainly why you see this timeout being called.
Yeah, IUPUI is going to be pulling out their hair at that. It's just like everything was perfectly played till the end, and I don't know if this is a sign of the mental state, but we have a double op response.
Coming out.
The crutches are out, hobbling themselves on, using the op itself as a crutch. Physically, they're hobbling around, and we'll see what they do. Huston here is going to be going sandbags with the out. Oh, this looks like an Extra Salt 2, the sequel. Well, they clearly filled Huston in on that one. He knows exactly what to play.
That was a team flash there. It's a good thing that they didn't get caught.
Oh, and this has gone perfectly. I mean, that was a real sloppy Extra Salt 2, I'll be honest, but IUPUI still pull out ahead. They don't know bomb is down there, though. But it doesn't really matter. 5v2, although we did see the situation before, and Cody came very close to actually converting it. Who knows? The worst thing you can do right now is just give up your life unnecessarily. You don't really need info. You just need to spread yourselves out on both bomb sites and play relatively safe positions.
I think they're doing exactly that.
Yeah.
Like, they just have people holding angles. No one's getting aggressive for info. Chris is going to be likely the first person challenged here. Maybe it'll be Tristan. This next jiggle, he'll find all the info. Yep, there it is. 2 players middle. He's going to call that to his team. And at this point, the T side is just, it's very hard to win this. You have no smokes. The only vision now you have are flashbangs and CMX. He is going to be flashed. He's going to quickly find error looking the wrong way, and he doubles up with the M4A4. And IUPUI will finally stop the bleeding. Team Clarity before that had 4 straight rounds.
It's a big,
definitely needed after that 1v3 loss.
That's a big win for the mentality. So you had that bad one, but you just went back to a some protocol that you practiced and you're able to close it out, which is gonna be huge. Imagine if they lost that right there. And Saucy misses the smoke, misses the molly. Saucy is just making so many whiffs today. Looks up in the sky as he just can't believe it.
And IUPUI is punishing that with Molotov.
Indeed. Oh, CMX has made himself to a sneaky position here.
Yeah, dude. Early Vertigo, when they changed these stairs, this was just an easy W every time. No one cleared it.
Big Daddy A is aggroing. No flash, no smokes. Even like he's just going in and just taking the fight. And once again, IUPUI has somehow managed to win ramp, not just ramp itself, but deep into it where the T's are supposed to be.
And they also managed to throw a smoke down 51 floors again.
Yeah.
This is, this could get rough though for IUPUI. Okay, Chris is able to find one as well as Huston. Okay, so Chris goes uncleared, Huston is able to find a pick. What could have happened there obviously is Chris gets cleared and Huston as a mid-offer misses 1 shot and the round quickly collapses. But that's the flip side, right? Chris goes uncleared, gets 2 pretty much freebies on B stairs, and it's quickly a 14th round for IUPUI. The bank accounts for Team Clarity are not going to be sufficient to buy here, so you you would expect a save and a forfeiture of match point.
Yeah, right now they're getting. I mean, the one thing you could say right now is that IUPUI, they have been doing a very, very heavy and obnoxiously loud ramp presence. So if you do go something fast mid, you might have the advantage. Which I think might just be what Clarity is gonna try to do here. But IUPUI has responded it. Oh, that's a great response from Tristan to immediately just counter this this mid take here. They just played that similar like they have been doing, though. It could have been we're opening Clarity that they need.
Yeah, and the reason why Big Daddy A is okay, well, it looks like they're gonna dismantle this mid hold here, but the reason why he's playing such a tight angle is his job isn't to get a kill, it's to take the aggro off of Tristan, who is playing close. Well, it looks like Team Clarity has clarified their strategy towards this B-bomb site, and there are 2 players here to stop this push, and there's no util on the T side. Losing this round for IUPUI would be nothing short of a throw. And we'll just have to wait and see when Clarity decide to make the decision to go for the push. Tristan finds a quick one in mid, and that's probably going to be the go for the B players. CMX playing elbow, has a smoke ready for a potential Molotov, but one is not coming. Blaker's not coming for the close peek. And
no!
There's an insane shot on the CMX. And
oh no!
They like a pretty much just deco with some Tech 9s just walks up on B and dismantles the IUPUI defense. Big Daddy A gonna go through the smoke, try to play a hero play. He goes down, and Huston scoped in on right side generator is gonna be caught out. IUPUI completely destroyed on that B take against no util Deagle.
They had this set up there. The problem is that Blake Gumboot is holding the off angle, gets the kill, well done, but he goes for the re-swing close instead of just falling back to generator, which I think is the start of the disasters there. And CMX, of course, misses his whip, and it's just all downhill. Once you just get
big props to Error though for posting on elbow throughout that entire process and being ready for that swing.
Yeah, you know, you just
oh my god, so many flashes. Now, do they know Huston's here? They don't.
Oh,
but he can't find one.
Zukar.
Zukar gets a triple on ramp take, going upside and just owning IUPUI's ramp.
And now IUPUI is such a position. You give Team Clarity an inch, and they'll take a whole foot. Because right now, they just let him into this round. And double mollies. I mean, there's absolutely no chill right now.
Oh my gosh. Right miscommunications there. Blake runs through the elevator molly towards the action. Chris goes through the elevator molly away from it. And they were in opposite positions to start. I mean,
this has to be safe. This has to be safe. You have to keep these guns in the next round. You have to try to deny that map point from 30, I think. And just even if you could go for this with they have double smokes, just they're trying to go.
I will say this much, right? Gumboot disconnected at the half, right? He has 2 kills since.
He's not having a good CT side.
He had pretty good openings on that T side with the AWP. I'm thinking at least one towards ramp and one towards B. Or it was one ramp and one middle, wasn't it? But with how much Team Clarity has gone B to only find 2 kills thus far, and one of them was an off pick on a stairs pusher with a deagle, it's just not a good look. Yeah, and that's I think why they have, you know, have had CMX on that B bomb site. It's another fast ramp play. They're in the exact same setup.
Oh, Big Daddy A is running and gunning. He gets 2. Oh, he's going for more. This is kind of a throw if you keep going. Yeah, he's going to get taken down. He should have just quit while he was ahead. And Tristan will fall back. This is just too much. They gets those 2 kills. He kind of wants more. I think Tristan follows up with it. It's one of those situations where in the moment you want to go for more, but really the correct thing is just to quit while you're ahead. But it's just hard to make that decision.
Like, if you're Tristan, you're like, okay, I got to go trade my teammate.
Yeah.
You know, he's pushing. I'm going to play off his contact, but he's just not quick enough to be in a position to trade. And now you've got Clarity working towards this B-bomb site where there's a total of 0 players ready to stop him. They just made a jump sound, though, and I'm pretty sure Blake would have heard that.
So he's flirting with the idea. Okay, yeah, he will transition. will come in.
Plenty of utility for. Okay, so he's just gonna see one cross. That's good info. CMX, yeah, he's lined up this retake flash. He's just thrown it, I believe. There's the flash. Will blind some first players, but no swing yet.
Double up on.
Oh, the flashes are so good. Blake gets one, but cannot get a second. And now Huston left the 1v3 with an op. He hits, or sorry, misses, and then gets hit. Yeah, this is the lost round, and Clarity's on a match point. IUPUI, despite being up, what, 14-12, now looking down the barrel of a lost game in regulation. And that round, I mean, he started 5v3. Big Daddy A finds 2 kills, and then immediately Big Daddy A running down ramp, trying to just make chaos, goes down. Tristan looking to make a trade, goes down. 3v3, B bomb site, given up for free. And Clarity looking to close us out right here.
Oh no. X gets taken down. I think, oh, Gumbo just barely gets the down here. Gotta find something, not gonna do it. Oh no, it's a disaster. All APLI players going down. Husband through. Tristan 1v5.
And it's over.
It's
Team
done
Clarity
just
wins
like
it.
that.
4 straight T-side rounds to close out the game. Most of them towards B, if not all. They won the ramp Mog one time, and then IPO was forced to save on A. But I think the other 3 rounds were towards that B bomb site. A tough way to lose, especially considering the way that they lost the 14-12 round, where the Deagles just run up onto B side and win because Blakers gets the first, swings too wide, and the player crouches under his scope, unseen. Easy kill there. Chris gets deeged in the response, scuffling, and IUPUI can't make the retake there. They can't make the retake on the final round, and Clarity wins in regulation 16-14. That's not a game you want to be losing, especially considering the fact that IUPUI was playing with a sub and was, you know, not wanting to play on Saturday, going poorly. And you can't even really throw it on to Huston, even if, you know, I think even if he got 0 kills, you can't throw it on him because he's subbing in for, you know, a game. But if you're only considering the outcome, I don't even think it was, I mean, it didn't even seem like he was making misplays. He was playing within his setups, within his roles. It really just came down, I think, to a couple bad rounds. I mean, they lost ramp once, right? They only lost ramp once that entire game, without at least trading 1 for 1. And then in Big Daddy A and Tristan dying, they traded 1 for 1. So they lost ramp twice. One of them was atrocious. I think you can say much worse things about the B-bomb site.
Yeah. Definitely.
And
yeah, it's like just it's just a few rounds for it to not be. It's definitely a lot of misplays. IPY, I think in going into that round 30, they might have been a little maybe tilted based on that 29 round loss, because it just seems like they were maybe not quite ready for anything fast. Which, credit to Team Clarity, that was a good way to just go right over the finish.
Yeah, well, what was very interesting, right, is, I'll start with this. What's weird to me is that we saw several rounds from IUPUI that demonstrated that they knew how to handle B site aggression and B site, you know, even against anti-ecos, right? I mean, we saw multiple times Blakers spot out info, back up to generator, hold from generator, wait for retake flashes and such. But we also saw the opposite, like players getting caught out, players overcommitting. Even in that last round, right? Chris goes down on top of Danger after not expecting that flashbang. And then Blakers backs up to Jin, but instead tries to take a peek and win a fight against somebody who's coming to site, instead of waiting for his teammates for retake, and he goes down for free. So it's immediately a 3 versus 5, and it's very, very hard to win at that point.
It's gonna be the IPY probably gonna be a little melancholy after that one. That's a tough way to lose. And like you said, even the sub, you can't really put anything on the sub, because Houston, I think he did it, like, honestly, probably did a little more than expected, frankly. I mean, he did get 20 kills. A lot of those were impactful. I do remember them being. A lot of good trades.
Yeah, I mean, he ended up bottom RWS, which you can take that with however much you trust the RWS system. But it's not like he wasn't fragging, right? I mean,
Yeah. That unfortunate loss. That will put IUPUI back even. 4-4.
same record as the Sneaky Simps.
Correct. Which actually are a much better team, even though records say they're actually if we
Not
were
so
there
sure
we
about
wouldn't
that.
we wouldn't have lost B once. I'm just saying. That was
Really?
us.
Okay. You trust Jack X DDD that much?
You know, do I trust him? Do I trust him, you know, set me up with a young woman? No. Oh, do I trust him to job and hold the bomb site? Yeah, probably.
So why don't you trust him to do the first? Any particular
Oh,
anecdote?
you know, he's just it's not very personable.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you know, nothing big. So IPY next game. It's Nameless Esports now. Bit of lore with this one. This was IUPUI's original. After they made main, they did pick him.
That's too bad.
Got egoed.
Got narcissism off the roster.
So we'll have to see that. And they'll also play something that works. This team is IO Meatwagon, I believe. They were something else. These players, I think, were IO Meatwagon. So still 2. So within IPI's record, we'll have to see what maps they go to. IPI has definitely they played 3 maps of Vertigo so far. On 2 of them. This one I think was just this was IUPUI's game to
Yeah, I think they'll be thinking about that Deagle round on B for at least the next week, because that's just not a round that you should be losing.
Well, thank you everybody for watching the stream. And everybody has a good evening. And stay tuned later. Probably be streaming whatever it's up. So, bye bye.